Today we're taking a look at BYU versus Gonzaga match, which is happening on Tuesday, March 9, 2021, and giving you our betting tips and predictions in general on this game. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. The number 1 Gonzaga Bulldogs will look to win their 8th WCC tournament title in 10 seasons when they take on the BYU Cougars in Tuesday night's final in Las Vegas. Gonzaga had little trouble in the semifinals on Monday night, rolling over their rival St. Mary's Gales 78-55 as an 18-point favorite to remain perfect at 25-0. Second-seeded BYU survived an overtime thriller against the Pepperdine Waves 82-77 as an 8.5-point favorite late Monday, and will be headed for the NCAA tournament even with a loss in the finals at 20-5. These teams met twice in the regular season, with Gonzaga winning 86-69 at home on January 7 before an 82-71 triumph in Provo home 1 month later, resulting in a push on the spread in both games. The Bulldogs now lead 19-7 all-time, although BYU pulled off a big upset over second-ranked Gonzaga last season. I know you guys are waiting for the most important part in that video, the betting tips. But trust me, these information are critical for your betting picks. So listen carefully, for what I'm about to share with you is crucial. It was far from their sharpest game this season, but the Cougars still have a shot at their first WCC tournament title after coming from behind to beat Pepperdine in overtime on Monday night. After trailing by as many as 10 points with 9 o'clock to go, BYU clamped down defensively and took a 72-70 lead in the final 30 seconds on an Alex Barcelo acrobatic layup, only for Colby Ross to hit a buzzer beater to tie. BYU's defense controlled the overtime period, with the key play coming on a Spencer Johnson steal in the final minute with Pepperdine looking to tie again. Barcelo led the Cougars with 23 points and 9 rebounds after a slow start, with Matt Harms adding 18 points and 3 blocks on May 8 shooting from the floor. BYU had a poor game offensively, but going 23-27 from the free throw line was huge, and the Cougars held Pepperdine to 40.3% from the floor. The Cougars have been a strong team against the spread despite Monday's loss at 13-3, and covered or pushed in 4 of their last 5 games to close out the regular season. Overs are 11-12-1 for the Cougars after the semifinal game went over the betting total with the help of overtime. BYU is having a strong season offensively, ranking 38th in scoring at 78.8 points per game on shooting splits of 55.2% from 2 and 37.8% from 3. Opponents are scoring 67.7 points per game against the Cougars, also in the top 100 nationally, while shooting 45% from 2 and 32% from beyond the arc. Barcelo has been BYU's best player offensively with 16 points and 4.5 assists per game on 49.5% shooting from three-point range. Harms is averaging 11.3 points and 2 blocks per game this season and was named the WCC Defensive Player of the Year earlier this week. Forward Gavin Baxter tore his ACL after starting the first 2 games of the season for BYU and will miss the rest of the year. Wyatt Lowell, who played just over 6 minutes per game at forward early in the season, is also out with an injured Achilles. Gonzaga took care of business by rolling past St. Mary's to keep their perfect record intact. The Bulldogs ran their record to 25-0 and now look to punch their ticket to March Madness. Against St. Mary's, Gonzaga gave up the opening bucket before reeling off 11 unanswered points, and they were off and running. The Bulldogs took an 18-point lead at the half and didn't let the Gales closer than 15 the rest of the way. Gonzaga shot a hot 53.2% from the field, including 5 of 15 from three-point range, and dominated the boards by a 44-31 margin. Drew Timme had 18 points and 8 rebounds to lead 5 players in double figures for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs have been lighting up scoreboards this season, piling up an average of 92.3 points per game, which is first in the nation. Gonzaga collects 38 rebounds per contest and dishes out 18.5 assists per night on the year. The Bulldogs are 135th in scoring defense by allowing 68.8 points a night. Drew Tima is second on the team in scoring as he averages 18.9 points plus 7.1 rebounds a night this season. Corey Kispert, Joel Ajayi, Jalen Suggs, and Andrew Nembhard are all solid scoring options this season. Aaron Cook, Anton Watson, and Umar Ballo are solid contributors for coach Mark Few. Gonzaga is shooting a blistering 55.2% from the field as a team this season. The Bulldogs are averaging 7.1 three-pointers a night on 36% shooting from beyond the arc. Gonzaga is average at the charity stripe as they convert 73% of their chances this season. BYU won their fifth straight game as they took down Pepperdine in overtime in their semifinal matchup Monday night. The Cougars improved to 20-5 on the season and now look to take down the nation's only remaining unbeaten team. Against Pepperdine, BYU found themselves even at the half, trailed by 10 with 8:45 to play in regulation before rallying to force overtime. In the extra session, the Cougars scored 6 of the first 8 points to take a 4-point lead and didn't let the Waves closer than 2 the rest of the way. BYU shot 42.6% from the field, including 7 of 21 from three-point range, and won the rebounding battle 45-34. Alex Barcelo led the Cougars with 23 points and 9 rebounds in the victory. The Cougars are putting up a hefty 78.8 points a game so far this season, putting them 38th in the nation in scoring offense. BYU is grabbing 39.6 boards per game and dishes out an average of 16.7 assists a night. The Cougars are above average on the defensive end as they are 99th in the nation with 67.7 points per game allowed this year. Alex Barcelo leads the team with 16 points, 4.6 rebounds and 4.5 assists a night this season. Brandon Averett and Matt Harms 4.8 rebounds, 2 each average in double figures as well. Richard Harward, Connor Harding, Caleb Lohner, Spencer Johnson, Gideon George, Trevin Nell and Colby Lee are all key contributors for coach Mark Pope. BYU shoots 48.3% from the floor as a team. The Cougars sink 8.9 three-pointers per game while shooting 37.8% from downtown. BYU is slightly above average at the free throw line, sinking 73.1% of their chances this season. After a perfect regular season, Gonzaga showed no signs of slowing down to begin the postseason with a comfortable win over St. Mary's in the WCC tournament semifinals, advancing to the finals for the 24th consecutive season. The Bulldogs were in total command throughout, building a 27-16 lead just 10 minutes in, and Gonzaga never led by fewer than 15 points in the second half. Drew Tima led the Bulldogs with 18 points, 8 rebounds and 4 assists on a dominant 8-11 shooting performance from the field. Gonzaga was particularly impressive on the defensive end, holding St. Mary's to 36% shooting from the floor, including 2-20 from 3. The Bulldogs improved to above .500 against the spread at 12-11-2 and snapped a streak of failing to cover in 2 straight games after getting off to slow starts against Loyola Marymount and Santa Clara to close out the regular season. Overs are 14-11 for the Bulldogs, with the St. Mary's game going under the betting total to snap a streak of 5 straight overs. Gonzaga was held well under its season averages offensively on Monday, but still leads the nation in scoring at 92.9 points per game on shooting splits of 64.2% from 2, also the best mark in college basketball, and 36% from 3. Opponents are putting up 69.3 points per game against the Bulldogs while shooting 46.6% from 2 and 32.1% from beyond the arc. Corey Kispert is likely going to be named a first-team All-American, as he leads the Bulldogs with 19.3 points per game on 55% shooting from the field. Tima has also been dominant with 18.9 points and 7.1 rebounds per game on 65.4% shooting from the floor, with star freshman Jalen Suggs adding 13.9 points and 5.5 assists per contest. Gonzaga does not expect to have any injuries or absences for Tuesday's championship game. So here's what I suggest betting on in this game. We're looking at a potential offensive slugfest between the two top teams in the WCC standings. BYU tried to hang in during their two regular season matchups with Gonzaga but lost by 17 and 11 points while allowing an average of 84 points a game in those contests. The Cougars had their struggles with a Pepperdine team that is brutal defensively and who was playing their second tournament game. Gonzaga won their 22nd consecutive game by double figures, making them the first team to accomplish that since the 1967-68 UCLA Bruins, led by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Gonzaga is too much for BYU to contend with on the offensive end of the floor, and they cut down the nets as WCC champions with another convincing triumph. My advice for you is to pick Gonzaga Bulldogs -14. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.